Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Our today's topic is about donor and acceptor, mobility, and conductivity of semiconductor. Basically, our today's topic consists of multiple terms which are very basic in the understanding of a semiconductor material. So we have to discuss all these three terms step by step. First of all, we discuss donor states, donor levels. So to understand the concept of donor states or donor energy levels, we have to remember the concept of extrinsic semiconductor, which are formed by adding impurity atom to the pure form of the semiconductor. And the purpose of adding this impurity was to enhance or to increase the conductivity. So we have to know how these materials can increase the conductivity of semiconductor material. So we have discussed two type of extrinsic semiconductors, like N-type and P-type semiconductors. So in case of N-type semiconductor, we know that the extra electron comes from a donor impurity atom. So that atom was basically said as donor atom. So what this donor actually do with the conductivity of the pure semiconductor? How it alter the conductivity of the pure semiconductor? So we know that if you have a group 5 atom added as impurity to silicon or germanium, so 4 of its atoms form covalent bond with the germanium atom or the silicon atom or whatever the semiconductor we are using. And we know that one of its electron, because it has 5 electron in its outermost shell, so one of its electron remain unpaired. So the electrons which form covalent bond with the host electrons or the host atoms lose their energy. They come in the bound state. Whereas the electron which is unpaired have energy sufficiently larger as compared to that of the host atoms, the germanium atom or the silicon atoms. So basically that electron exists over there. This is the valence band, this is the band structure. This is the valence band and this is conduction band which is separated by forbidden energy gap. So here you can see that energy state of extra electron which exists in the forbidden energy gap, which is very close to the conduction. So existence of such extra energy state make it possible for this extra electron to easily jump from its energy state to the conduction band because it lies very close to the conduction band. So this extra energy state come from where? Come from the addition of impurity atoms. So if you add a pentavalent atom as impurity, then an extra electron remains unpaired. So that extra electron which is unpaired creates extra energy states. So this is the point where the extra energy state exists. This extra energy state is basically called donor state or donor energy level. So one thing to remember, whenever you add an impurity atom to a host or pure semiconductor, it creates extra energy states, and these extra energy states basically help us to increase the conductivity of the semiconductor. So what actually happens, electron jump from its position. If you focus on the figure B on the ionized case, this unpaired atom jump leave its atom, this unpaired electron left its atom, and what remains behind? Positively ionized donor state, where or you can say a hole, a deficiency of electron, and this electron jump to the conduction band, comes over there. So this is a free electron moving in the conduction band. So you have a free electron in the conduction band, very small amount of energy. So this electron can take part in the conductivity of the semiconductor. So the energy of this electron has an extra state, and that energy state is basically called donor energy state. Similarly, we will discuss what are acceptor energy states. This is the case of p-type semiconductors. When you add a trivalent atom as an impurity atom. So trivalent atoms has as many as 3 electrons in its outermost shell. So these 3 electrons form pair with the host atoms. No, this atom has 6 electrons. So it have one vacant space which can be shared with the germanium. Germanium have 1 electron, but it does not have an electron to share with the silicon. So it cannot form a covalent bond with the host atoms. The major point is that this extra energy state or this extra hole which is existing over there in the impurity atom lies very close to the top of the valence band. As you can see in this first diagram, this is a hole existing in the impurity atom or trivalent atom, lies very close to the top of the valence band. So you have a hole very close to the top of the valence band. So this is very close to the top of the valence band. So electrons lies near the top of the valence band can easily jump from the valence band and occupy this state. So when electron occupy this state, they left behind a hole in the valence band. The number of holes inside the valence band increases. So hole concentration overall enhances due to the presence of trivalent atom. Okay, so this energy of the state is basically an acceptor state which accepts electrons from the valence band. So that's why this energy state is called acceptor state. So if you have many electrons, then you can have many such energy states. So we can summarize both acceptor and donor state in a single line that whenever you add an impurity atom, it creates an extra energy state. So if this energy state lies near the conduction band, then this is usually n-type semiconductor. And when it lies near the top of the valence band, it is usually a p-type semiconductor. Okay. So whenever you add an atom of the impurity atom either from tri or pentavalent, it always create an extra energy state. Okay, so if the atom is a donor, then that is a donor energy state, and if the atom is an acceptor, then the state is called acceptor energy state. Okay, so this is our discussion about donor and acceptor energy levels. This second diagram represents the transfer of electron from valence band to this extra energy state or the acceptor energy state, which accepts the electron and left behind a hole inside the valence band. Holes inside the valence band are treated as free holes, free positive particles that take part in the conduction p-type semiconductors. Now we come towards our second term, which is mobility. Mobility, a word comes from mobile, how movable the charge carriers are in any electric field or in any given material. So to understand it, let we have a case when an electric field is applied across a crystal. You see, we have a crystal, then you applied an electric field. Charged particle began to move under the influence of that applied field. So they acquire a velocity, and that velocity is proportional to the how strong the electric field is. Okay, in that case, if V will be the velocity acquired by the charged particle under the influence of any applied field, so that is proportional to the applied electric field E. Where if you change this sign of proportionality, then you can write it V is equal to mu epsilon. Where V is drift velocity, with which electron drift inside a material, which have unit meter per second, and epsilon is electric field, which is volt per meter. And this constant of proportionality is basically defined as mobility of the charge carriers. If electrons are the charge carrier, then it would be mobility of the electrons, and if holes are the charge carriers or the majority carriers, then that will be the mobility of the holes. So if you take electric field is equal to 1, then you have V is equal to mu. There is a mistake in writing this relation. So hence mobility is the velocity acquired by, this will be V is equal to mu. Mobility is the velocity acquired by charge per unit electric field. So you put electric field as a unit. So you can define mobility as velocity acquired by charge carriers per unit electric field. So when electric field is applied, charge carrier usually accelerate and they suffer collision with each other and with the atoms, vibrating atoms. They lose most of their velocity. So we are not talking about their instantaneous velocity. We are talking about their drift velocity. So it acquires and then it start accelerating again. So first it get a velocity, it acquires a velocity, then it collides, then it lose that velocity, then the process repeat again. The value of mobility depend upon several factors like temperature, purity of the material, and the type of the impurity you have added, from which group you have added the impurity atom. For germanium and silicon, mobility of electron in the conduction band is generally more than that of the holes in the valence band. So it is a well-known fact that mobility of electron is usually larger than that of electrons are more mobile as compared to holes which exist in the valence band. This can be thought as that valence band is close to the nucleus. So attractive force due to nucleus on the holes is greater as compared to that of the electron which are at a higher energy state, which are away from the you can say nucleus. So they are more free as compared to that of holes. So they are more mobile as compared to that of holes. So you can say that mobility of electron is relatively greater than that of the mobility of holes, where electron lies in the conduction band and holes lies in the valence band of any material. So this is our discussion about mobility. Now we come towards our last point, which is conductivity of a semiconductor. Conductivity defines how good conductor a material can be. So how good conductor a semiconductor can be, you can define it by using specific mathematical parameters. So if you have a semiconductor which have charge carrier electrons having electron density n and lies in the conduction band. So charge per unit volume for conduction is Ne. So E is the charge of electron. So you have total Ne charge which exists in the conduction band of the material. So if this charge moves with velocity v, then you can easily find the current density. J is equal to total charge multiplied by the velocity with which the charge is moving. So conductivity can be defined as current density per unit electric field. what is the current density, at what rate the charge is flowing when you apply an electric field across the conductor. So J is equal to NeV. Here the subscript N is for electrons, density of electron. NeV, this is the value of J, and V in our discussion of mobility is mu E or mu epsilon. So this epsilon is cancelled by epsilon, then you have the relationship for conductivity Ne mu N. So conductivity is very much related to that of the mobility of the charge carriers that exist in the conduction band or the valence band of the material. By similar reason, it can be shown that if P is the density of the positive holes that are existing in the valence band, then the conductivity of the holes can also be found using the same formula, that will be sigma P is equal to Pe, where P is the number of holes, E is the charge of hole, and mu P is the mobility of the holes. So this is the definition that subscript P applies to the effect associated with the holes in the valence. So you know that you have both the type of charge carriers in the material. Some are majority carriers and the other are minority carriers. Both electron and hole take part in the conductivity. So when you want to find the total conductivity of a semiconducting material, then you have to consider both majority and minority carriers that are taking part in the conduction process. So total conductivity is sum of conductivity due to holes and conductivity due to electrons. So putting the values from the previous relation, you have E Q P mu P plus N mu. Okay, but you know that if you have a pure semiconducting material, so in a pure semiconducting material, there is no impurity atom. So there is no extra energy state. Electron jumps from the valence band and go to the conduction band. So number of electrons and number of holes are always equal. So for an intrinsic semiconductor, P is equal to N, or you can simply write it a common name Ni, where P and N can be replaced by Ni, where Ni is density of electron or hole. This can be used for both. Therefore, the conductivity will be written as sigma. So this P and N is replaced by Ni, so Ni is taken as common Nie mu P plus mu N. So conductivity is basically proportional to the sum of the mobilities of both electron as well as the mobility of the holes. So this is our discussion from today's lecture. Hopefully you have understood it. If you have any question, you can ask right now in the session or after the session in your WhatsApp group. Thank you very much, students, for having this lecture. This is the question time. So if you have any question, you can ask. So I am opening your mic for the questions. So you are welcome. Okay. So is there any question?
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम।
सर हम डोपिंग जब करते हैं तो हम इसलिए करते हैं कि हम इसकी ना इलेक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टिविटी इंक्रीज कर सकें।
यस
सर जब हम एन टाइप को इंटर करते हैं, मतलब पेंटावलेंट प्योरिटी इंटर करते हैं, तो उसमें कंडक्टिंग बैंड के बिल्कुल नीचे आ जाती है एक्स्ट्रा एनर्जी स्टेट
जी, कंडक्शन बैंड के करीब आ जाता है जी।
सर जब ट्राइवेलेंट करते हैं, मतलब पी टाइप करते हैं, तो उसमें वैलेंस बैंड करीब आता है, वो क्यों नहीं जा सकता सर?
वैलेंस बैंड के
कंडक्टिंग बैंड के
वैलेंस बैंड के करीब होल आती है। होल देखें आपने,
सर हमने दोनों
ये देखें ये डायग्राम, लिसन, इस डायग्राम पे फोकस करें। आपने ट्राइवेलेंट ऐड किया, उसके पास टोटल कितने इलेक्ट्रॉन हैं आउटर मोस्ट शेल में? 3 इलेक्ट्रॉन है उसके पास। तो उसके पास मैक्सिमम 3 हैं, वो 3 तो शेयर कर लेगा। उसके पास अगर 4th होता तो वो किसी और जर्मेनियम के साथ या सिलिकॉन के साथ शेयर कर लेता। तो उसके पास 4th नहीं है ना।
यस सर।
तो उसके पास अभी भी 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन की डेफिशिएंसी है।
बिल्कुल।
हाँ, डेफिशिएंसी ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन जो है उसे क्या कहते हैं? हम होल कहते हैं। ठीक है, तो उसके पास एक होल है, ठीक है, जो इलेक्ट्रॉन बॉन्ड बना लेते हैं उनकी एनर्जी कम हो जाती है, तो वो वैलेंस बैंड में चले जाते हैं। ठीक है, जो एनर्जी स्टेट फ्री है, ठीक है, उसकी वैल्यू तो ना कम होगी ना ज्यादा होगी जब तक वो किसी के साथ पेयर्ड नहीं होगी। तो इम्प्योरिटी एटम इस तरह से चूज किए जाते हैं कि ट्राईवेलेंट के ऐसे एटम इम्प्योरिटी एटम्स होंगे जिनकी एनर्जी ऐसी हो कि वो टॉप ऑफ द वैलेंस बैंड के क्लोज लाई करते हैं इलेक्ट्रॉन। ठीक है, और एन टाइप बनाने के लिए पेंटावेलेंट ऐसे चूज किए जाते हैं जिनके इलेक्ट्रॉन की एनर्जी कंडक्शन बैंड के करीब। ठीक है, तो इस केस में इलेक्ट्रॉन की स्टिल कमी है, इस केस में आपके पास होल है। वैलेंस बैंड से इलेक्ट्रॉन आगे इस होल को फिल करेगा और वैलेंस बैंड में नंबर ऑफ होल्स बढ़ेंगी। ठीक है, एक्सेप्टर स्टेट्स की हम बात कर रहे हैं। तो इसने इलेक्ट्रॉन को एक्सेप्ट किया, ये एक्स्ट्रा एनर्जी स्टेट आई है जो इलेक्ट्रॉन को एक्सेप्ट कर सकती है। प्रीवियस केस में हमने देखा था ये एक्स्ट्रा एनर्जी स्टेट आई है जो इलेक्ट्रॉन को डोनेट कर सकती है। दिस इज अ डोनर स्टेट। इज देयर एनी क्वेश्चन? Okay, so there is no question. Thank you very much, student, for your interest. Thank you for the meeting. Allah Hafiz.